Hello to everyone who is tuning in on Facebook Live, and welcome campers to Camp Dab. We've got a phenomenal evening of some really fun campfire events for y'all tonight. We've got some scary stories, we've got some music happening, and of course, it's a virtual campfire, so we've got our virtual campfire behind us. Unfortunately, we can't do virtual s'mores because those wouldn't taste very good. They taste a lot like a computer. So we're going to not do that. But go ahead and toast yourself your own s'more, grab a marshmallow and some chocolate, put it in the microwave for a few minutes, and we are going to have a lovely time listening to some scary stories. Yeah, I think we're just about ready to go. So what we're going to do, first up tonight, we have 3 scary stories for you, all written by DePaul students, all written with the prompt of tell the haunting tale of the ghost of Cordeloo Commons. Cordeloo Commons, of course, is the building on campus. So we're excited to hear from all of our wonderful authors, and then we'll hear from our wonderful band, which is Modern Nun tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first artist, or our first author right now, which is Madeline Schuster. Give Madeline Schuster a big, warm welcome.
Hey everyone. A long time ago, when Cordeloo Commons was first built, there was a party being held at the opening ceremony of the building. Among the guests there was a man by the name of Theo Hawkins. When stepping out of his parked car, Mr. Hawkins looked up at the sky. A blood moon. That's not good, Mr. Hawkins thought, before going through the entrance of the Cordeloo Commons and looking around the long, church-like room, seeing guests talking and laughing in small groups. He grabs the glass of champagne, and Mr. Hawkins was soon humming quietly to himself, showing his stance as one of the upperclassmen of the guests. He glanced over to see one of the aristocrats beginning to approach him, clear anger upon his face. Mr. Hawkins only smirked, before the doors to the entrance burst open. The lit candles of the party were blown out, and everyone's head turned to the opening. At the doorway stood a figure. The person whisked to a nearby guest, and inhumanely dug its teeth into the neck of the guest, and Mr. Hawkins immediately paled. The victim shrieks as the guests began to panic, and chaos ensued as everyone tried to escape the bloodshed, and Mr. Hawkins dove underneath one of the cover tables, curling to his arms as tightly as he could, praying to whatever God above that he would live through this. Mr. Hawkins saw at one point the previous gentleman from before trying to scramble under the same table as him. Please, help me! Help me! The gentleman was pulled from under the table, and seconds later, screams of him were heard, the sucking of his blood, the drop of his body. To Mr. Hawkins, these sounds continued for what seemed like hours. Suddenly, the screaming stopped, and Mr. Hawkins carefully opened his eyes and crawled from under the table. All the guests on the ground were dead, blood shed everywhere. I'm impressed. You're the fewest human in 100 years to escape my feasting, the figure finally speaks, having appeared behind Mr. Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins jumps, turning to face the individual. The person comes into the light, chuckling. Count Dracula, you've heard of me. Let's finish the feast, shall we? The Count says, before showing his blood-covered teeth, his fangs glowing in the moonlight. Mr. Hawkins was about to protest when he felt the fangs sink into his neck. He let out a blood-curdling scream before slowly withering and dying like the rest of his guests. Shortly after the Count escaped, Mr. Hawkins' ghost appeared and remains to this day protecting the Commons from being attacked by Count Dracula again. When there's a full moon, you may hear the sound of Mr. Hawkins' blood-curdling scream and the horrid laugh of Count Dracula.
Awesome job. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, we'll do the little clapping emoji things, because gotta love the little clap emojis that you can do on Zoom. That was so much. I love a good Dracula story. Gotta love it. Awesome. That'll bring us to our next story. We're doing our 3 stories, and then we're doing our concert for the evening. So telling our next story will be one Morgan Kale Ackerman. Take it away.
I wish I had a virtual background that worked. Okay. To the Dead Lover. I never thought Corderloo Commons was spooky. If I did, I wouldn't have volunteered for event cleanup. The crimson-red arches on the ceiling created long shadows. The heavy chandeliers glowed, just barely flickering on and off. The tall, dark windows, full of dust and cracks, contorted the moonbeams. Being alone in Corderloo, with only my footsteps creaking on the old floorboards, was eerie. Good thing it's not October, I thought as I picked up garbage. That's when I heard a strange noise. I had heard Corderloo was haunted, but I didn't believe it. It's not a ghost, I thought, moving decorations. I brought out my phone to call my friend, just in case. The call didn't go through. The phone service vanished, and my screen went white. Shaking vigorously, I saw something move in the corner of my eye. Clutching my phone so tight it might shatter, I recognized the figure staring back at me. His gray eyebrows arched aggressively, giving him a permanent frown. His thin lips were pressed together, his small eyes black holes. It was John Corderloo. "Dory, you must calm down," I said, taking deep breaths. I turned around, reassuring myself that it was just a painting. I felt his beady eyes on me. Watching the portrait carefully, I slowly backed out of the room. Ghosts can't be real, I repeat to myself. They can't. That's when I saw him move. The portrait glowed in electric yellow, a light shining through the cloudy ink. His head swiveled to face me. He smiled, his yellow teeth glinting. There was a mystifying shine in his eye, almost admiration, endurement. "What do you want?" I screamed at him. He smiled again, and the air went ice cold. With one raise of his eyebrow, the grand wooden door slammed, leaving me trapped. I ran and banged on the door, yelling for help. When the air in my lungs depleted, I turned around to see him writing on the wall. He turned slowly, his eyes glowing like fire embers. It was a heart. "Love?" My lips quivered, but curiosity overcame me. "Love," he said, his crooked smile rising to his eyes. "Forever." His voice echoed through the hall before everything went black. I slowly opened my eyes to see Corderloo, looking as normal as ever. I felt the weight leave my body. "I'm okay," I thought with a comforting smile. "There are no such things as ghosts." That's when I realized I couldn't feel my legs. I tried to look down, but I couldn't move. I rotated my eyes to glimpse around. There was only a beautiful wooden wall of Corderloo in front of me and some kind of frame. I was in the portrait. No, I was the portrait. I heard a sound from another painting, recognizing John's voice. "I'll never be lonely again," he said. I nervously raised my eyes to meet his. He cackled, and I felt my soul bleed slowly into the ink of my picture.
Awesome job. Gotta love is some picture of Dorian Gray vibes going on there. Portrait of Dorian Gray. Killing it. Phenomenal. Awesome. That brings us, of course, to our third author for the evening. One Brian Yu. Brian, take it away.
This all happened in the spring quarter of 1925. Every year, near the end of the spring quarter, students would gather in the Corderloo Commons to celebrate the end of the school year and to send off graduating seniors. Students were always looking forward to this, as it gave them the chance to catch up with their friends and fellow peers. But in 1925, there were some horrifying events that changed the lives of many forever. The Paranormal Seekers, a new but popular organization at the time, decided to explore the bottom floor of Corderloo Commons. It is rumored that there is a room down there that leads you straight to hell. When you enter it, the spirits that are condemned to damnation lies in there, looking to prey and feed on a pure soul, corrupting it and transforming it into the beasts that will wreak havoc on earth. Some people thought that these rumors were silly. Some thought otherwise. Either way, the Paranormal Seekers were here to investigate the rumors. Everybody gathered and together went to the bottom floor of Corderloo Commons. Jimmy, the club leader and an avid paranormal investigator, led the way. When everyone was in front of the door that led straight to hell, Jimmy opened it. It gave out a heavy squeaking noise and filled the air with a hot and musty odor. The room was pitch black and was dead silent. Nobody had the courage to step into the room. However, Jimmy managed to muster up the courage to take a few steps in. With only his flashlight, he continued to walk further in the room. "Anything in there?" one of the students asked. "Nothing so far, just plain darkness," Jimmy replied. Jimmy didn't see anything out of the ordinary, so he decided to make his way back towards the door he entered from. As he kept walking, in the blink of an eye, simultaneously the door closed and Jimmy's flashlight went out. The students were scared and made their way upstairs back into the banquet hall. Hey, don't leave me, Jimmy screamed. A presence flew towards Jimmy like a bullet. All of a sudden, Jimmy's body started to convulse as his body started to mutate. Within seconds, Jimmy transformed into a demon. After his transformation, Jimmy let out a loud growl. With a sudden thirst for blood, Jimmy expanded his wings and flew towards the door with the speed of lightning. With a single punch, Jimmy busted the door open that covered the room and made his way into the banquet hall where everyone is hiding. With a shocked look on their face, everybody instantly turned their heads towards Jimmy. Jimmy, what happened to you? A fellow member of the Paranormal Seekers asked. The newly transformed Jimmy replied, Jimmy is no more. It's now Zeo. Everyone, say hello to the Prince of Hell. Before anybody had the chance to react, the lights went out and everyone screamed in horror.
Awesome job. Those were all so fun. Big fan. I love a good classic horror Prince of Hell vibe. So now, starting tomorrow, you'll have an opportunity to vote for the winner of the Scary Story contest. We will post videos of all three of our phenomenal authors on our Instagram page, and you'll have the opportunity to vote for your favorite by liking the post of the story that you like best, or like all of the posts, because they're all very good. But we'll make sure to post those tomorrow, and you can check out our Instagram page then. So thank you again so much to the authors. And the winning author, of course, will be published in 14 East Magazine, and they will also receive a Scary Story kit, which includes a copy of some scary storybooks, as well as a creepy doll, and I forget, and a s'mores kit, because we got to give people chocolate. We always got to give people chocolate, which is, it's what's needed in these trying times, is some chocolate. So thank you again to our authors, which means that we're coming up on time for our awesome live musical performance, which is going to be Modern Nun. Yeah, Juliana of Modern Nun is here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a screen with some campfire stuff going on. We're going to see if this should work. If you can y'all see the campfire? Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, I think we are ready to go. Rigo, if you can pin the video. I think. Do that.
Should be pinned.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you, Juliana, you are good to go whenever you are ready.
You're currently muted, Juliana.
Am I muted anymore?
You're good. You're good now.
Sorry. I was just tuning my guitar, so you didn't miss anything fun. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Tasted like cherries, sweet and wonderful and true. In the afternoon, you tasted like pecan pie, baby. I couldn't get enough of you. Oh, but the grapes that I picked, you failed to tell me you were allergic. So in the the afternoon I had my fill. Oh, but my grapes are doing just fine. In fact, they'll make me some summer wine. That one was cherries. Thank you. Sorry, it's really raining out here, so I'm sorry if it sounds a little weird. I'm in my sunroom. But, alright. This one is called Teeths. When she brushes her teeth, there's blood. Her dentist says that she's no fun. Never hung her picture on the wall. She's had cavities since she was very small. My loneliness won't let me be with you, and my sweet tooth won't let me eat with you, and my heartache won't let me sleep with you. I hope my cavities are filled up real soon. When she flosses her teeth, there's blood in between each and every single one. I fear veneers are the only way to go from here. Only goes to the dentist once a year. My loneliness won't let me be with you, and my sweet tooth won't let me eat with you, and my heartache won't let me sleep with you. I hope my cavities are filled up real soon. This is where my bandmates would normally riff. My loneliness won't let me be with you, and my sweet tooth won't let me eat with you, and my heartache won't let me sleep with you. I hope my cavities are filled up real soon. That was teeth. Like we're having our EP is coming out soon, and that song will be on the EP.
I'm not gonna lie, I keep listening to Dirtball like every couple of days. I just listen just to keep streaming it because I love it.
That means the fucking world to us. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna have more music coming out soon, so you don't have to just listen to Dirtball.
I'm excited. I'll stream it day of.
Thank you. We need it. But it's in the process. It's getting mixed right now. So, but yes, it's really different playing these songs without my bandmates. So sorry if it sounds a little different. But this is how I originally wrote them. So they're stripped down to their roots. This one's called Silk House, and it'll also be on the EP. I'm just gonna sing Amanda's part. I grew up in a silk house, baby. You grew up in the suburbs. And I grew up with a chip on my shoulder. You grew up with a collar. Tell your mom that you're not her dog. I grew up in a silk house, baby. Everything you touched was soft. And it was all pinks and purples, but after a while, all the colors wore off. And everything I grow in my garden is green, and even the rotten tomatoes look clean. I know that they are hard to see underneath all the snow. But I grew up in a silk house, baby. You grew up in the suburbs. And I grew up with a chip on my shoulder. You grew up with a collar. Tell your mom that you're not a dog. You weren't bred for show, just wanna go home. Tell your mom that you're not her dog. You weren't bred for show, just wanna go home. Tell your mom that you're not her
Woo!
Yeah. And I will. My guitar is like infamously, I have a problem. Strings are always like so out of tune. In the middle of my song, they'll go out of tune. So I need to get it fixed. So I'm sorry to watch me tune song. But otherwise, it won't be good. And Amanda, my other bandmate, she broke the string off my other guitar. And she's the only one who knows how to restring them the best. So I have to do that by myself. All right, there we go. And this one is for, this one's for you. This one's Dirtball. Dirtball kid in a dirtball world. Dirty shoes, even dirtier girl. And she better run home, better run real fast. Or her dad will be mad, but you know it won't last. Oh, cause he's got a temper and it flips like a switch, it cracks like ice in the winter just before the ocean slips. Oh, dirtball girl in a dirtball world. Skirt's too short, gonna ride a roof twirl. In the principal's office twice a week. Oh, but no one is listening to her speak. Oh, cause she's got a temper and it flips like a switch, it cracks like ice in the winter just before she slips. Oh, dirtball boy in a dirtball world. Oh, and he's got a crush on dirtball girl. Oh, and they grow up, they have 2 kids. Oh, but he swears he won't treat them like his dad did.
Woo!
Oh. Do I have time for any more, or what do you guys?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, feel free to keep going.
Okay.
Up to you.
Okay.
Or feel free to stop whenever. You let us know.
All right. I
Okay.
will. Okay. This one is gonna be called Name. I have to tune again. Sorry. And it is actually going to be the title of the EP that is going to come out. It's a very short song. There's so much tuning. Okay. When it comes down to it, don't you think that it's strange, cruel, that we made her climb the fence without any shoes? Was it near you? I was wearing that dress that you lent me, clinging to it for an identity. But all I got was a house tooth in my neck and sewing needles poking holes into my head. When it comes down to it, don't you think that it's strange that after all these years I can't remember your name? Must have been the fame. That's the whole song. Yeah, tune again. Okay, I'll play one more song. And this one is called Courthouse. Ooh, something's not working. My guitar is it. That's it. Alright. Close enough. It never gets perfect. It's loveless, I'm told. Till I lay it offered you to go. It's a rare kind of ceremony. Won't keep going. And it's the blank stare of the jury. So many palms in hidden fury. to get you off scot-free. At the end of the day, you're a woman in a man's world. That's why I want my hair curled. Oh, that's why I want my hair curled. Thank you.
Woo.
Okay.
When is the EP coming out?
It's going to be probably, fall.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we feature as many DePaul bands on our playlist as we can. You're on our DePaul Then and Now playlist.
Oh,
So-
awesome. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, to all the people watching on Facebook Live, check out Dirtball is on Spotify now, and more music to come soon. Very exciting. And also, Modern Nun was the winner of our Battle of the Bands. We were going to have them play Fest. But Fest got, you know what happened.
Well, we've been new, but it was still an honor.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep featuring your music every chance we get because we love supporting the DePaul artists. And you know what? I'll throw you on our Fest playlist for the next couple of years.
Oh, means the world.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.